right, welcome back. All right, this is going to be pretty eye-opening, and believe it or not, what I'm going to show you is going to fit nice and neatly within the alien format, the description of how these aliens are going to act and even how they're going to look. So, check this out. We've got 34 passages here. I'm just going to have to touch base and move through to get to the meat and the potatoes here. First thing you need to understand is they're asking who can bring him about. Leviathan, Antichrist, otherwise known as Apollyon, which is in the inner earth. And Apollyon translates directly to the devil. The devil directly translates to the prince of the earth, who is cast into the earth. Now, it's not just literally into the earth. We're talking about being held in a vessel form. And you have to think about spiritual beings as a form of energy, and that energy can be translated directly as information. That information is best held within a crystal matrix, and you will see even throughout the Bible and even throughout the book of Enoch that crystal is being used to contain and hold souls. You'll also might have noticed on the Answers of an Alien from Andromeda, or maybe even on some of the videos that Daniel of Doria has posted. I remember there was this one guy named Rob Cutter, I think, and that he was talking about these Nordic-like Pleiadians, which he said were planning on harvesting souls and putting them into stones. And, that really just blew me away, because I have continually heard about souls being kept in stones. You have to think about the Urim and the Thummim, which are called seer stones, which are in the Old Testament, and the priests of the early Israelites were to be in possession of these, and they were supposed to come out of a breastplate, out of Jacob's breastplate, which was encrusted with various jewels. And from this breastplate, the Urim and the Thummim were put in, which would in turn give power. Okay? And we're talking about divination, which in actuality is being looked down upon in the Bible as some form of occultic, maybe an occultic way to tell the future or tell events. Well, the whole point of what I'm saying is that the Urim and the Thummim are still telling you that people are using stones to get information. Okay? So these stones are where these beings are having to be drawn from. The stones are crystal. And that's where we get the reference to the inner earth. And in the book of Enoch, where it says it was a dry desert and they had no food or no water, they are being imprisoned within this crystal matrix. So who can pull them out? That's what that's about. And then once he gets out, then we have, will he make a covenant with thee? Well, we already know what that is in relation to in the book of Daniel. And then we have a description that goes down that you are really going to have to look at yourself. This one's very important. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? And we're talking about a marriage. Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. And we have a description of him with scales are his pride. So the pride of him is like scales, not literal scales. So let's focus now on the very telling 3 to 4 verses here that are really going to tell us a lot. I'm going to read them and I'll come back and explain the real implications of what we see here. By his neesings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth goeth burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. I'll come back and tell you what this means.